Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Designer Deep Dive. It is also Christmas in July, not 25 days of Christmas. Christmas in July and Designer Deep Dive. And our designer for the month is Kaisercraft. I'm also playing along with Off the Board, and this is the pin that I chose out from my Pinterest board that I am going to use for inspiration. It's by Andrea Marie Sherman at Girl Plus Paper. So I have pulled out some Kaisercraft Christmas stuff. I have this 6x8 paper pad that has not barely been used. I have this one that has been used a little bit. I do feel like there is the possibility of using some of it, but probably not the minty pieces because it really conflicts. It's very distracting from the green tree. But I do kind of like that. And I do kind of like this one. So maybe something from one of those. And then I have embellishments from this Christmas collection that was called Letters to Santa, which will bring in more color. And then I have a few embellishments from this one that is called Christmas Edition. There's not a lot left in that, but I don't know where this came from, but I feel like it could work with this. So let's go ahead and pull out some stuff. I kind of need a base page. I have one photo of the girls I take care of dragging a tree down the hill. This is actually, there's actually a a QR code. Oh my goodness, my brain is not working today. I have a QR code for this one so that it's actually the girls, I keep saying actually, they took the tree from up here all the way down the hill to that's their dad's truck. And in the video, the older one is dragging it most of the way. The littler one does help, but she's not as helpful as the older one. So, not generally speaking, but she was very little in this picture. This is a couple years old, actually. So I need to find a piece of paper that I think is going to go with this and with some of these papers. Because the majority of this layout needs to be Kaisercraft. I don't know if Tara asks for like 75% or what, but there's some really pretty papers in here. I do miss Kaisercraft. Their paper is a little thinner than what I really like, but and they had a lot of really nice collections. This is kind of cute. I wish you a Merry Christmas. But then I would need something over down here. So it's going to be a 6x6 challenge, apparently, because that's what I need to use. I do have some full sheets of Kaisercraft, but not in Christmas, and I wanted to play along with Christmas in July while I could and see if I could make it work. So I'm gonna go into this big bin of Christmas papers. I need Christmas papers like I need a hole in the head. These ones are all brand new to me. They're not brand new on the market, but they're new to me. And I do feel like maybe something could work in there, but I have a lot of like one-off papers also. Like, there's not a lot going on with them. But I really want to pull in that more olivey green. Pardon me. Excuse me. Oh. So let's see what I have in here that I can pull in. I do know I have some papers like that, and that's, but I don't want them to be too busy. Maybe I could use this. Oh goodness. I feel like the sneezes are just going to keep coming. I do have this, which is just solid. I don't really want just solid though. I don't know. I do also have this, which I was thinking maybe it would pull out the colors of her dress, but I think it's just too much red. So I don't think I'll use that. Okay. Let's see what we have in these 49 in Market. Nope. None of those. There's a 49 in Market cut apart. Stick that to the side. Wrong color, wrong color. Oh my goodness. Trying to see the back sides of things. I do kind of need to remember that I'm going to be putting some of those other papers on top, so maybe the plain is good. I don't know. My other option would potentially be one of these papers, which are plain but not plain, which are my favorite kinds of solids. Those are solids for me. I do have the paper pad for Seasons of Joy, so let's flip through that too, because I've not used any of it. Would have to be something pretty simple like that. That'd be really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside in case I want the green that's in there or the green that's in there. So let me pull out what I want from here. That will help me to know how it's going to go with something from in there. And I'm just going to be picking the stuff that I like and packing it, because I'm going to a retreat and it needs to be packed before I go. And I don't really have the time to make all the layouts before I leave, so I'm going to work on them while I'm there. You're going to be here along for the ride while I pack. Okay, so I like that one, and want one that's more in the white realm, because I don't mind mixing my white and my cream as long as they are mixed well. In my opinion, it's just me, I think that white and cream go great together. Cream, to me, is just another color, and it can be, I don't know if I like this one. I use it just like another color. If I use it in one spot, I use it in multiple spots. So that's where I stand on that. I don't think I want to use this. But I do like those. Let's see what embellishments. I do like this embellishment. It's kind of in between the white and the cream. I might pull in more, both sheets of that, actually. Let's do that. Make sure we have 2 sheets, just in case. And now I have 2 sheets of this one, which I love this pattern. It's so tiny and cute. I could have this on a full sheet of large paper, but yeah, they don't make that, so. We have to stretch it. Let's see if we have the other. I may not have the other one. Nope. Okay. The other one is a no-go, the white one, but that's okay. We've got some there, I think. There's some good potential to pull out this white one also, just because then I'll have 2 whites, but this has the distressed look that this one has, so it kind of ties everything together. I think that's pretty. Okay, so now let's pretend we're doing a bunch of layering here. I do not even know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it work. Okay, and let's see what's in this. In fact, I almost just want to throw the whole pack in, because I need to use a lot of Kaisercraft stuff, so I kind of feel like if I just throw the whole pack in, I'll be good. Isn't this wonderful Christmas tradition? That is one of their traditions. Put in the tree. Okay, I think I am going to put this whole pack in. And maybe I'll put this pack in too. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I think these would be great together. So I think I'm just going to put them all in one pack because there's no sense in carrying all the packaging with me when there's only a few pieces in this. So I'm going to actually get rid of that. That was called Christmas Edition. It's going in the trash. I'm going to put all of these in this because I'm going to limit myself to using all the stuff that is Kaisercraft for the most part. I don't know where that chipboard piece came from, but I really like it, so I'm going to stick it in there. And since I'm using those words, I don't know that I'll use these words. I think I'll leave that separate. I'm going to leave that separate because, like I said, I'm going to try to keep it mostly Kaisercraft stuff. Put those away. Oh, I was going to look through these and see what these always have. These little cutout pieces that and cut aparts that you can use. So let's see here. These are more card-like. I mean, some of them are good, just like Merry Christmas, but this one says wishing you joy. I don't feel like those are going to be useful, but some of these other ones might be. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. Maybe these guys would be useful. I think I'm just going to separate these out and stick them in with those. That seems reasonable. At least the little tag pieces. Maybe I can do a little bunting or something. I don't know. I don't like the one with the girls on it. I think I'll leave that one. That one can stay home. Oh my goodness. That one. This one with the deer. I don't think I need to say Merry Christmas 12 times. Let's see. I like that none of those have words on them. I do feel like another dark one would be good because I've got 3 light ones, so it's going to be this dark one, unless, you know, these are the only ones with tags, so we're going to go with this. Okay, so we've got that. I've got 5 of those. I think that's good. I do like this favorite moments. That says Merry Christmas. This says Christmas wishes. So maybe let's do Christmas wishes or happy holidays. I don't know. It feels very card-like to me, but stick it in there. Let's see what happens. Trying to decide if I like any of those borders. And these are all foiled, so these are duplicates, so let's pull one out. Oh my goodness. We're going to pull one out, leave the other one here. Again, more cardy type stuff. I do kind of like, I also feel like there's going to be some pieces in there, so maybe I'll stick this in just in case, because I might need some things to pull the 2 pages together, or the 2 pieces of paper together, since I've got multiple pieces there. And let's look at the embellishments in here, which I feel like are not going to be what I need, since they're going to be, this one could work. Let's stick this in, and I wonder if there's another Merry Christmas here, but I like that one better. And the only piece off of here I would use is this one. The rest are the wrong color. And what does this cut apart say? More Christmassy type sayings for cards. It makes sense because they're in a 6x6 piece. This is also a dangly bit. Dangly bit. Oh my gosh. It's also a tag. So I'm gonna stick that one in there. Get rid of that. Stick in my twine that I love so much. And this. And I think I'm going to call it good. I don't even know if I have enough embellishments in here, but I'm gonna make it work. I might throw in this. This is $49 a Market, but that's okay. It brings in more of the colors and a different texture because it's got musical pieces in it. Or do I want the lighter one? I'll throw both of them in just in case the lighter one looks better and I need it for contrast. Okay. I'm just making sure there's no like little labels here that I need or want. I might stick this in because I've got this dark green in here. I don't know how much is in there of that, but we'll go ahead and stick those in. And then call it good. I'm gonna call it good. I was gonna call it good. I'm gonna look in my wood veneer from MK and see if there's anything in here that I might want. Pretty sure. I think I stuck some trees in my other one. So I have some trees. I do feel like this wood veneer would be great because it's kind of got the same similar kind of fancy font. So I'm gonna stick that there. And then maybe, it's not from the North Pole, but the tree is a special delivery. I don't believe their mom went that year because I don't know if that was the first year my little guy was around or if it was the year before, right before he was born. So I am gonna just, I don't know why this is in here. That's weird. It just got thrown in there for some reason. I'm just looking to see what else I've got here just to make sure there's nothing else I want to pull in. Okay. So I do have the trees. I've got a ho-ho-ho, and I believe this ho-ho-ho might go well with the other one because I was going to use a ho-ho-ho on it, I think. I'm going to stick this in for the other one, for my other layout that I've already packed, just in case. So I've got the Christmas stuff out, and while I keep going through it, I'm like, oh, let me put that in. Let me put that in. I'm packing it all into this page protector because this page protector is how I like to sort my stuff out. And this normally goes into a binder, but because I am flying, it's not going into a binder. It's going into here, and then I'm going to pull it all out and make a layout when I get there because I am packing. This is a two for you guys, filming and packing at the same time. You're seeing the process as it actually happens. So all of these 4x6 pieces get to go in here. Oh, you know what? It doesn't fit in there because Kaisercraft doesn't do 6x6. They do 6.5 by 6.5. So it's not going in there. These two pieces can go with the photo. Okay, so it's mostly Kaisercraft with the exception of the background paper because I actually don't have a Kaisercraft background paper in the appropriate color. So it is what it is. There we go. Okay, so currently, well, not currently while I'm voicing this, but currently while I am filming this at a retreat in Wyoming, and I am going to go ahead and use that kit that I just built. So I'm sitting here thinking about whether I want the green or the red more as the front of the paper, and I decided I want both. So I am gutting the paper that I have, and I'm going to give it a white background. Well, yeah, you're going to see here. So I'm giving it about a 1-inch border all the way around. I think it's actually 1 1/4, because I need to have some place to actually adhere the paper because I'm going to use the inside cut, flip it over, and put it back together. Therefore, I will have a green and a red showing on the front side, but I was trying to decide if I needed a white or a black to go between the red and the green because I need something slightly larger than the inset piece to adhere to the frame piece to hold everything together, because I'm not actually backing it with a full sheet of paper. I'm just going to put it back together with a little bit of a white border. I am roughing up all of my edges on everything today. It's all getting a bunch of distress going on using my distress tool from MK's shop. And I will link that down below. It is a tool that I use quite often. The only thing is I didn't bring my little vacuum with me, but thankfully MK had hers. And so I use a little desktop vacuum to pick up all of that paper dandruff. You can see me stealing hers right off of her desk and then putting it back. But I will be using it throughout the entire layout because, like I said, I'm distressing everything. I'm going to use a little Nuvo glue to adhere everything together, and that's going to hold it really well. I feel like the liquid glue is going to do a better job holding that white piece of paper to the green frame than if I used like my ATG or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the liquid glue again, just going on the inside of the frame, and that's going to make it really easy for everything to stick down. I think I gave it about a 1/4 inch reveal of white all the way around. Normally I would go with something smaller because I like really small layers, but because that white paper is really what's holding everything together when it's adhered to the green paper, I gave it a little bit extra of overage so that it could really hold well. I am cutting some banner pieces, but I wanted to use that "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" as my title piece. Again, this is using Kaisercraft stuff for the Designer Deep Dive Challenge over at Tara's Facebook group, The Paper Snob. And so I'm trying to keep within using like 75% Kaisercraft. So I felt like that was a good way to do it. Just use that as my title. And then all of these layers, I went ahead and cut them into strips varying anywhere from 2 inches to 2.5 inches wide. And then I went ahead and just eyeballed a fishtail cut at the bottom. And I went ahead and roughed up all of the edges. I did not make you sit through all of that because it was very time consuming. And plus the interrupt level at a retreat, it can be very high. So I did not necessarily make you sit through that or edging all of those papers because, again, that takes a lot of, it's kind of busy work, to be honest with you. But I did use some gathered twig oxide ink to go ahead and ink up the edges. I really like doing that with a brush applicator like I've got here when the edges have been distressed with a distress tool, because I can easily kind of wipe that brush applicator onto one of my mixed media rags and tap it off over the trash or something like that, and all of the paper dandruff falls out, rather than if I were to use the foam pad. Every time you use the foam pad, it picks up that paper dandruff and you put it back on your ink pad, and then you get that paper dandruff on your ink pad, and it creates like little, I don't know, wet ink balls, paper, little pieces of paper that are saturated with ink, and then I don't know, it's just messy to me, and when you go to use it again, you end up with that stuff all over your project or whatever. So I just prefer to do it this way. You know, if you don't have the blending brushes like that, then, you know, the foam applicator does work. Now I went ahead and trimmed the top of this down because I want it to go across the page with some string. I kind of wish at this point in time, it's the first time that I'm really thinking about it, that I would have left a couple of them maybe a little bit longer, like 1/8 of an inch, so there were some kind of like height variances, but I didn't. And am I okay with it? Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think I'm, you know, it's a little late now at this point in time, but now looking back at it, since the bottom is got quite a bit of height variance, I kind of wish the top did too, but I'm gonna leave it and it's gonna be fine. This is for the younger of the two girls that I take care of, The older one already has this photo in their album. There is going to be a QR code that I add to it before it goes in their album, so that they can see themselves pulling that big huge tree all the way down the hill. And so I am keeping that in mind as well. And then just going to go ahead and add some of this linen thread from Stampin' Up! To the top here, so it looks like it's hanging from something. I did put a little knot in the end. I think I took the knot out, actually. I put the knot in and then I think I took the knot out. But I played around with that idea of it. And then I just used a little liquid glue to kind of hold it in place, because I don't want it to be, I want it to stay on top of the banners and not over the red paper, because then it would look like the banners were hanging from nothing. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. You know, going back and thinking about it, maybe I should have stitched it. I have no idea, but this is what I did. So here it is. Sometimes at a retreat, you also kind of have to just work with what you have, because I probably would have taken it over to my sewing machine and added a bunch of stitching across the top rather than doing some hand stitching, just for the simple fact that I love the layers of doing multiple sewn stitches. And while I do enjoy the look of the hand stitching right now, it's not my top priority, just mostly because I have an arm injury that I have been dealing with, and so it's not as enjoyable, the whole process of it, even though I love how it looks. So I do it when I'm feeling up to it, and this was not one of those times. So I went ahead and pulled out the ephemera for Kaisercraft, and I looked at a bunch of the wordy bits, and some of them, the font is very weird. The H's look like B's in some of them, so I opted not to use a lot of them. I kind of set them aside because I was like, why do these look like B's? I'm kind of reading them weirdly, but I found a few that I do like. And I used those photo corners, which I don't use very often, but this is like the perfect photo for photo corners, because there's not a lot going on in the photo except for right in the center, right? I don't need all of that other stuff showing. In fact, I could have zoomed in quite a bit, although I didn't want to lose the perspective of how far away the truck was, because that white truck in the background is their dad's truck. And so I didn't want to lose that perspective by zooming in too much. So that's kind of why I left it as is, but the photo corners really don't take anything away from it. So I'm liking how that's looking, and I'm just building up some clusters and thinking about that. I do think I will pull in a couple of wood veneer pieces from MK's shop also, and then I am roughing up the florals, because I think these florals are going to go really well on either side of the title that I created up there, and I like how that's looking. I am going to include links down below for Off the Board, as well as Designer Deep Dive. And normally I don't show you my whole packing process, except for that because MK and I are doing our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where we do our messy Monday and then our packing the kit on Wednesday and then putting it together on Friday. I went ahead and just kept filming all the things I was packing, so you kind of get the benefit of that. If you're not interested in watching the packing, I'm so sorry, because it's kind of too late to tell you to fast forward through it. But yeah, it's not something that I normally do, but you're getting a little extra because of that. I did pull out some brads here. These I think are from Cartabella, also either Cartabella or Echo Park, which is basically the same company. So I'm just adding a couple of brads to either side of those banners to make it look like it's being hung from something. And then I added a label down, or a tag down at the bottom, to make it look like a tab. I just trimmed a little tag. So that is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you can check out my description box down below for all of the links to the hops. And I will be back again tomorrow with another video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.